Hello, we're reading again from Raising Confident Black Kids. Great book. I'm reading from chapter 2, I believe. Raising Confident Black Kids. And it's chapter 2, How to Talk to Your Baby or Toddler about race. A lot of stuff, what I do is maybe at the college level, at really what should be maybe graduate level, I guess, but what anything from high school level all the way up. Because I do try to break it down as simply as I can, but I am dealing with heavy concepts, as you know. Um, let's continue. Making actively anti racist choices as a consumer. This is big. This is big. Oh man, this is big. This subject. Let's see. It can be hard to teach a child that black is beautiful if they see no representation of blackness in their environment. Books with strong, positive, and diverse characters are great tools for encouraging your child's recognition and celebration of differences. But go even further. Your child is picking up cues from even just the packaging on his or her cereal box. Look for packaging that reflects a diversity in order to prevent your child from thinking that the world should celebrate only one skin color. It may seem like a small step, but every little bit counts. Do some research. If you're looking for black dolls that really represent your child, know that Essence Magazine recently published We Found the Black Dolls Your Little Ones Will Love Forever. Looking for skincare products for your teenager? Google black owned brands dedicated to black skin. Practice talking about race even if you're not confident. Now is the time to start practicing. Well, before we go into this chapter, let's deal with the other chapter. Yes, you want to have something that represents you, no doubt. But that's very surface level. That's surface level. This is base. Of course, you get a doll that looks like you. You watch a show. But you got to be careful because just because you have a face or even a doll brand that looks like you have to look at what is the doll, what is the company, um, what are they doing, what is the doll made of. If you have a company that makes excellent black and Latino and Asian dolls, but some of the chemicals they use can cause your child to have whatever, you don't want that. And then in which case maybe you would have to switch over from humans to animal dolls or animal pillows or animal whatever, right? So that's another level of it. Um, Also, shows and characters and things like that that look like you but are pathological or promote pathologies, you don't want that either. It's better off if you can't find one that's positive and thoughtful, then don't look at all, especially when it comes to television and movies. Books, there's so many children's books now. So many black people writing children's books. But make sure, because you got a lot of these black excellence people trying to give your children this weird idea that if they just work 3 times hard, pull up your pants, make sure you're clean cut, and you'll get through. And that may have worked 100 years ago, but that's not the world anymore. Let's go to the next chapter. Practicing talking about race even if you're not confident. Well, the way to get confident is to like channels like this. Get the information, then you'll be confident. And message me, comment. I usually answer back my comments. If you have a question, ask me. I'll do my best to share with you or steer you in the right direction. Now is the time to start practicing the process of posing questions to your child about race. It will lead you to more fruitful conversations as they grow and help them establish a foundational level of trust with you. Ask them what they saw today or what they are feeling. Kids in this age group are focused on having their needs met, that you must prompt them for other topics of discussions. You may not have a lot to talk about in regard to race specifically at this age, but using race conscious language with them will help prepare them for a future as an anti racist who can stand on their own and advocate for themselves. I think they're talking about toddlers at this age. Let me see. But I would say around 5, 6 years old. 6 years old, they're going into first grade. And when they get in first grade, if you put them in one of them horrible schools, and I don't care where you are, all the school systems are racist. Because the whole society is all the institutions, I should say, were racist before they all collapsed. And believe it or not, in 2020, they dismantled all the institutions. And you all got afraid for some reason, or was so invested in the poorly built institutions that you wanted them back. So they tried to bring them back. The ruling class brought a lot of them back. But what we see now is you're going back into something that really wasn't working, and we were past it, and you didn't give the new thing a chance, and so now you're working backwards. That's what you're doing. It's weird to me. Chicago parent shared a list of creative activities that can be used to start the conversation early with your kids. These hands-on learning activities and crafts, which focus on diversity and anti-racism, include the M&M experiment. M is for melanin, brown equals love, paper doll dress up, wooden rainbow people, the colors of me, matching hearts, diversity princess activity, and self-portrait. So these are activities and crafts. I'm gonna put them up on the screen so I think you could be able to see. So you could freeze it. See down here? That's the activity. So I guess these are names of activities. I don't have children, so, and then you can use that. Model the world you want your child to see. Many parents plan playdates and other activities for their children. Try as best as you can to find diverse playmates for your kids. Playmates who are of color, but also playmates who are non-black. This is also a good time for you to check your own prejudice and consider your own peer group. Expand it so that your own circle of friends is filled with vibrant, diverse people who can support you as you learn to parent and teach you new things. Remember, you're modeling the world for your child, so make it a world of inclusivity. If you only have black and white friends, your child will notice. If you're Afro-Caribbean and you only mingle with light-skinned people, your child will notice. I think they try to take a jab at the career. If you're Afro-Latinx and live in a bubble that doesn't include other black individuals, yeah, your child will notice. Afro-Latinos are some of the worst. They will not say they're black. I was in Washington Heights in an Airbnb, and I really felt like I was in another country. I actually know what the immigrants feel like, because in Washington Heights, I felt like an immigrant. I felt like I was in somebody else's country. Everything in the neighborhood was Latino, and I like to shop in the neighborhood and spend the neighborhood. Now, they treated me very nice. Any store that doesn't treat me like a human being, I don't go in. They treated me very nice. First time they saw me, you go in the supermarket, and it's like, I don't know this guy. Was I still wearing my mask then? I think I was. I can't remember. But, I would go in. They would watch me. You had to check your bag sometimes. And I would just go in because that's part of living in the city. That's part of being a black man. And after about, I say 3 times of me going in those stores and those supermarkets, and they got to see me, and I always go in, how you doing? And I go on, because to me, we're all human beings anyway. So I am cordial that way. I mean, I think that's just decent, to speak to people and take care when I'm leaving. Thank you to the cashier. They didn't have self checkout. I don't like that. And after a while, after about 3 or 4 visits, it was like, you don't have to check that. Go on, man. Um, but they treated me very nicely in Washington Heights. But I was a foreigner, and I saw this couple. It was darker than me, and I said, "Oh man!" And I went up to him and said, "Hey, how are you?" And he looked at me. He was like, and I said, "Oh, you're a dark Latino." And they never spoke, and I just slid it off to my, slid off to my room, embarrassed, to where I was staying. Um, so yeah, this is the thing, parents. You're gonna have to do the work, and this is one of the reasons why you won't homeschool your children. You won't really educate your children, because I know you don't want to work on yourself. But here's the deal: these schools are driving your children crazy, insane. And it's getting to the point where you listen, children are killing their parents. That's some weird stuff in our community. And even parents killing their babies. That's some weird stuff in our community. So if you don't want the madness, you take your child out of the goddamn schools. But it's up to you. It's your child. I don't have children. I can't tell you how to raise them. You want to let them rape your child's mind, it's nothing anybody can do about that but you. Model the values you want your child to have. During this early stage of development, the main challenge is to lay positive groundwork for later stages. When your child has developed language skills and can more easily interact with you, practice modeling compassion and tolerance even when it is difficult. Racial tensions are almost palpable these days, and it can be easy to see non-black people as a monolith, and the source of all black people's problems, and simply exclude them from your child's life. Be mindful of your own biases and behaviors, and refrain from saying or doing things you would not want your child to mimic, including making racist comments about other minority groups and telling jokes that disparage other races. If you start out by making discussions about race as as a normal part of your child's nurturing while they are still in infancy and toddlerhood, you'll have an easier time as the child grows and the lessons become more difficult. Your child will be experiencing it. And children will come to you and ask you, "Mommy or Daddy, why did that man do that? Why did that woman do that? Why?" I asked those when I was young, and I'm sure other children did. And adults always never answered our questions. Always tried to steer us away. "You're too young for that. They're just being bad." Never explained it. And I asked questions when I was young, like, why are they living over there and we live here? Why are they all living? Because my mother cleaned white people's homes. So why do they have homes? And a lot of times the women women of the house were there. They were there, relaxing. My mother was cleaning. And sometimes she would take me to work with her. So that's another reason why that kind of stuff doesn't move me like it moves other black people, because I was in those people's houses, nice houses. And I'm like, the people are no better than us. So I'm not impressed by these people. Then you grow up and start learning, well, they only got that because the government gave them all these programs to get it, and give the banks, backstops the banks so that they could give all these other incentives. So I know why they have it. And all you black people killing yourself to try to get that, just be careful, man. You're not, get it the way they got it. That's all I'm saying. Use whatever government or whatever banking programs, whatever. Now, it happens to be a lot of them now that you can use because, like I said, we're supposed to be living in a new era, in a new. We supposedly had did a great reset, but all you zombies, you wanted to go backwards. I hear even smart people, really people I respect online, still talking like it's the 1950s. Um, Workers' unions, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We do gig work. I mean, still a lot of people work in the workspace, but they only work in the workspace because we forced the ruling class to put us back there. Because let's be honest, no retail store you go in should have more than 3 people in it working in it. None. With the technology we have, none. We should either be ordering stuff online and going to the store to pick it up, or going to the store and buy it and going through self checkout. There should be 30 self checkouts. You should never have to wait on a line at the store. Even the technology, even from some stores, is you scan each item that you want, and then at the end you check out, and while you're inside the store, and you come out with what you bought. And if you want to have guards at the door and show them the items, and they look at the items and look at what's in your bag or what's in your cart or what's and then you get out and bag it. I mean, there really is no need to have 2 registers, two cashiers, 15 registers with nothing on it, and we all waiting in 2 long lines that's at the back of its store. It's insane. It's insane. But that's what we got, because that's what you all wanted. I was so excited in 2020. Yes, people were dying, but I knew people were dying all the time. Before the COVID, the hospital was killing 350,000 people a year. The hospital was killing. I knew that information. So when the COVID came, I'm like, yeah, this has been happening for decades. But they put a name on it. The news talked about it and all this other stuff, and they pushed it in people's mind like it's different. And then we were losing people. But my thing to people, and I lost a very good friend, brother of mine. And I think it probably was complication. It was his weight. He had pre-existing condition. We lost people, and I know people who lost people to COVID, especially black people. And I say, so none of your relatives was dying before COVID of heart attacks, strokes, diabetes. Come on, yeah, come on. Sometimes I have an elder who says you want to shake people. You want to shake them out of their thing. But that's it. I think I'm gonna do one more lesson on this. But it'll be behind the paywall. So I do every other lesson behind the paywall. I think this one's gonna be free. And raising confident black kids. I don't know how to say the last name, but you see it there. And I got it from the public library. I tell you, use it, use it, use it. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Take care. And I'll see you next time.